Hi, welcome back to Ridgehaven Homestead. It's Lori, and today I wanted to talk to you about the power of little things. We get overwhelmed so much in life, at least I do, and I suspect that you're kind of similar to me. And so it's been hitting me recently just how powerful small things are. We've been going through our house trying to declutter. We've been trying to just live a normal life. And so many times I feel like I have to do the big thing, especially with a homestead. There's so many tasks that need to be done regularly. Like every day, there's a lot of things that you have to tackle. And so one thing that's really been helping me is taking some tips that I've learned from other people. The first tip that I have is to just do small amounts more often. It's the whole philosophy of little attentions often. But in the laundry area, I've been taking this advice and I've found that already it's helping me in my peace of mind to not feel overwhelmed with like just doing 6 loads of laundry in a certain day. So we all think about doing 1 load of laundry a day and how that makes it easier. And since we are off grid and use solar, I have to really take the weather into account. For instance, today it's all cloudy. So I had to look at my battery bank power and determine if I could do a load of laundry. And I determined that I could do 1, but no more. So what I'm trying to do is 1 load per day, but the specific thing that I'm trying to do is a basket in each room. And when it's my day, I do my laundry. When it's Andrew's turn, I do a load of his laundry. Adam, Greg. And so that way I'm not sorting laundry. And it's not perfect because sometimes I'm like, well, let's throw this stuff in. And so then I'm still trying to figure out whose socks are whose. But I'll tell you, in the past, I have normally done like all the laundry, throw it in a huge pile, sort it out. But I end up with like a massive laundry basket just full of socks or t-shirts or pants. And so I'm having to check tags. Whose are these? I can't remember. And my sock basket is the biggest thing that it takes me the longest because I really don't know whose socks are whose. And when you have 100 socks to sort, it becomes really challenging. But if you have like 10 socks to sort and they all belong to one person, it's super easy. So I've been doing that this week and it really, really has helped. So that's the first tip. And so on my laundry line here, I just have 1 load of laundry. I decided to do sheets on one day, like our load of sheets will be a certain day and the boys will be on another day. And that way I can do their sheets with their laundry, have it all done, return it to their room in a basket, and I don't have to sort. So that's the first thing. The next area where I've been trying to implement little attentions often is the garden. Now, our actual vegetable garden was a flop this year. We just didn't do very good at it, and I don't know if it's our fault or whose fault it is. We take responsibility. But for instance, it's August now, and we have so many weeds growing in our garden. And so I often think, well, I have to get out there and I have to take all day, several days, and get the weeds under control. Well, there's 2 things I've been thinking about. One is the small area. And so today I just mapped out a small square of the flower garden. And I said, I will pull the weeds in this portion, let's say 20 minutes or 30. I can do 20 minutes when maybe my to-do list is so tall that I don't feel like I have time to do all the things on it. And so the weeding gets bumped to another day and another day and another day. Well, today I said I can do 15 or 20 minutes. I'll do this one section and then I'll be done. And so I did, and I have a sense of accomplishment, a little box I can check off. And the next day I can do some, and over time I will see progress. Where if I just try to do the whole thing, I'm going to burn out, and then that's no good for anybody. Another thing that I'm really trying to make a habit is exercise. And that is another area that overwhelms me because I think, well, there's so much that I should be doing. I should get out and walk for an hour because that will be great for my mental health and my physical health. But I often don't feel like I have an hour. And the best time to walk is in the morning, and my morning times are taken up with worship and getting breakfast going and packing lunches. And so it's very easy for me to put that off, and then once I get going with my day and my ubiquitous to-do list, exercising is the easiest thing to bump. And so I have my little trampoline set up where I can see it, where I pass by when I take the compost or when I go to the garden or hang up laundry. And so I have to keep passing it by. And so it's just a little call to me to come, and even if I can only do 5 minutes on my mini trampoline, they do say that 5 minutes on a rebounder equals about 30 minutes of walking. So I can do that, and I can squeeze in more time throughout the day. And I have found that once I get jumping, I really do like it. So do a little bit, and if you do a little bit more, it's just going to be a benefit for your health. And you don't have to do massive amounts to even get a little bit of benefit for your mental, physical, and emotional well-being. And it sometimes helps me to set a timer and beat the clock, make sure that I'm time aware, because sometimes I think that I've done 5 minutes and it's only 2, or sometimes I think that it's just 10 minutes and I've really done 15. So set a timer, work up right into it, and conquer something. Decluttering, de-junking, de-stuffing our house has probably been my biggest source of overwhelmed feelings for a long time. We started out making good progress, and then we had to put it on hold because of the sheetrock project. However, I have to constantly, every day, tell myself, I can do something for 15 minutes. Even if I can't do everything, I can't go down to the shop and conquer that right now, but I can do something. And so in the spirit of that, I am going to do these 3 drawers that I have, a dresser that may or may not make it, but this stuff has been sitting in these drawers for 6 years or more. I just need to go through it, make a decision on the stuff, donate it, trash it, or put it up in my clothing so that I can use it. It doesn't need to be in these drawers any longer. And I think it'll take me about 5 minutes. Again, we have a ton of stuff that we need to be going through, but I'm going to ignore everything else, especially the stuff that's not mine. I'm going to focus on this, and I'm going to have something done. It's going to be a victory that I have mentally, and so that's going to feel really good. So why do I have somebody else's boot in my drawer? I don't know. Because I've had all this stuff in here for over 6 years, there's a good chance that none of it's going to fit me. So that should be an easy thing, and this is all clothing, so I'm thinking this will be a pretty easy thing to address. I can't believe it took me 6 years to address these drawers, and now that they're done, I feel really good. Staying hydrated is often overlooked, but it really is a small thing, and it really makes a big difference. We can make it a little bit nicer by using our herbs that we grow in the garden to make a delicious herbal tea. And often I find that these herbs are more beneficial than just hydrating, so we get 2 things in one. Another small thing that we often overlook is something as nice as fresh flowers. It doesn't take but a minute to cut some, throw them in a vase, but look at all the yield that it provides. Everyone passing by can smell their fragrance and appreciate their beauty. Diffusing essential oils is a wonderful way to create a peaceful atmosphere in our homes. We can also create an uplifting atmosphere or an energetic one by choosing different essential oils like lemon or the other citrus blends. It's a really interesting field to delve into, and we can learn so much about how smells affect us, but I just like to have a nice atmosphere and see the beauty of the diffuser. It just kind of gives my mood a lift. Another change in the kitchen that we've made just this week that has actually made a really big difference is something that we've thought of before, but I don't know, it just didn't seem possible. So I've always put together the lunches in the morning, and while breakfast is going on, while I'm making breakfast, while everybody's trying to eat and get out the door, I'm making lunches. And so that does 2 things. That makes the morning really chaotic, And it also makes it so I don't sit down generally with the family because I'm in the middle of making the lunches. So we've implemented something this week, which we're still trying to get the kinks out, but so far I've found that it's bringing me a lot more peace. Why not make it the night before? So I know the reason why I didn't make it the night before is when we were in the camper, we had zero space in the fridge. So we didn't have that luxury of making things the night before. We had to do it the morning of because I couldn't store anything readily made because our fridge was just so small. But now that we are a little bit more spread out, I can do that. I just am not in the habit of it. And so I remember growing up, my mom always made the lunches the night before, and then when we got older, we started helping a little bit. And so that really, I don't remember that chaos in the morning as much. So we have several people here involved in making lunches now, and the boys like to kind of make their own lunches. And so that really would make it clogged up in the kitchen, and it really was causing a workflow issue. So this is helping. We're just trying to get the kinks out of when to make it, but also they sometimes want to have food that is cooked, but they don't necessarily want it to stay hot like in a thermos because it is so hot. So this solves that problem too. You can cook it the night before. If you want to have it cold, it'll be refrigerated. I don't know, sometimes it's the smallest things that we don't think of, but this has really helped a lot. And I have found even the very first night that I made my husband's lunch the night before, in the morning, all I had to do was make breakfast and put the lunches together. And so I was able to sit down with the family, and I remember feeling a lot more peaceful about that morning than I usually do. It's usually kind of a frantic, don't get in my workspace. I've got to get breakfast and lunch simultaneously for different people who want different things. And so this actually helps, and the guys can have their hands in the pot and choose what they want. They can have it ready the night before, and then we can clean up our kitchen and go to bed. That really helped. Just like going through those 3 drawers downstairs wasn't really that big of a deal. It did take less than 5 minutes. I am trying every day to make a purpose to declutter something and to just get a bag out. And sometimes it doesn't seem like it's going to make any difference, but if I can get one bag out of the house of things that we don't need anymore, then that's one less bag that we have to work around. And if I can pack out the trash on a regular basis, then that just feels like it makes the house a little bit lighter. Looking at the big picture is good, and I usually am a big picture person where I like to see things getting done and I want to see it all getting done. But I am realizing that I do gain some peace from clearing one bag out, and then one bag leads to another, and pretty soon they add up, and I have a car full of things to give away. One thing at a time. Don't overlook the importance of small things. Bookwork. It seems to be the bane of my existence. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I have agreed to do some bookwork for my husband and his business. It's the thing that I love to procrastinate on the most because I really, really hate looking at numbers all day. So I've procrastinated for months, but I finally decided, why not just hit it? Let's hit it hard. I can set myself an amount for a certain part of the day, and I can do that and then give myself a little reward. And that's what I've been doing, and surprisingly, I am almost up to date just by hitting a little bit at a time. I still don't love it though. I hope that list got you started, at least started thinking. Sometimes it's just the small things that make a big difference, and I'm finding that out. It's the little consistent things that we do that make tomorrow a little bit easier or today a little bit smoother. Sometimes it just doesn't take something huge, and that is actually encouraging because the huge things can be really discouraging. But we can all do small things. So I'd love to know what little things you do that seem to make a big difference if added up over time. Drop me a note in the comments and let me know. We can all learn together. I love that you came and joined our journey today. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for coming. One more little thing that you can do is hit subscribe, hit a like, share this video with a friend, and come back for more. Have a great day.